So welcome to 1.6. We're now going to take what we've been learning about fractions and apply them to ratios, rates, and proportions. Right? So we're going to find the missing numbers here. We've done this. 9 times 6 is 54. 4 times 6 is 24. 2 times what makes 11? Nothing, but we could simplify this fraction to 1/3. 1 times 11 makes 11, so 3 times 11 is, 3 times 11 is 33. 10 times nothing makes 35, but we can simplify that to 5, 6, divide both by 2. 5 times 7 is 35, and 6 times 7 is 42. 21, you think you might divide here, but we have to simplify first. Those are both divisible by 7. 21 divided by 7 is 3. So this is 3 halves. Now it's multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 5 is 10 is the missing number to make them equivalent. All right, so if you sink 4 out of 5 shots, how many would you expect, 4 out of every 5 shots you take, how many would you expect to make out of 100? Hopefully you would expect to make 80. So ratio, the big difference today is that we're going to use words, not just numbers. The answers have words in them. So let's see that. Jim made 14 out of 20 shots during the game. Write the ratio as a simplified fraction with units. All right, so let's do that. So it's 14 made, right, to 20 shots. You could say 20 shots or 20 taken. Either way, I don't care. But you can't leave that because it has to be simplified. So it is, it is 7 made out of 10 taken, or 10 shots, either way. Let's do another one. 8 pieces of candy cost $2. So, right, I'm going to write 8 pieces for $2. All right, but we're not going to leave it that way because you can simplify that. This is where you do leave it over 1. $4, oh, not $4, 4 pieces for $1. Right, $1. Dollar symbols we typically write in the front, not afterwards, but you could write it after. All right, so compare the short leg to the long leg. Well, the short leg has to be the smaller one, but you have to put some words on it, right? So it's 10 short to 24 long, but again, we're not leaving it that way. We're simplifying our fraction. And so it's 5 short to 12 long. So that's called a ratio, a simplified fraction with units. So assuming there are no ties, write the ratio of wins to games played. Okay, so wins to games played. All right, for team B. All right, so we're in here. All right, so it's 3 wins, but how many games did they play? Well, it says no tie, so they won 3, lost 6, so it's 3 wins to 9 played, or 9 games, either one. But you're not allowed to leave it that way. You have to simplify your fraction. So that's the same. Winning 3 out of 9 is the same as winning 1 out of 3 played, right, which is not very good. That means you're losing 2 out of every 3. But this is the simplified ratio. Now, when the denominator is 1, we call it a rate. So let's see that. Paul drove 100 miles in 2 hours. Now this is a rate. I should have said this differently. We call it a unit rate when the denominator is 1. So we're going to make a unit rate out of this, right? And it's just simplifying your fraction. 100 divided by 2 is 50 miles, and divide by 2, 1 hour. So 50 miles in 1 hour. That's a speed, right? What speed is that, right? We write that, well, this is the answer I wanted, but this is 50 miles per hour, which, right, you have a speedometer in your car, and the needle is showing where the speed of the car is going, and if it's pointing at 50, that, unless we're in some other country, if you're in America, it's going to say 50 miles per hour. How many miles you go in 1 hour is your speed. So when you say the speedometer says 75 miles per hour, that means you're going to go 75 miles in 1 hour. Please understand that. This is called a rate, and when both of these are rates, when 1 is the denominator, it's called the unit rate. Right, $12 for 3 pounds, so it's $12 for 3 pounds. What's the abbreviation for pounds? LBS. All right, and we're going to simplify that to $4 for 1 pound. All right, and there's no dollars per DPP. You can also write this as $4 per pound like that. But I'm really looking for what's in the circle here, that we're understanding that these prices, when you go to the store and you go to the say the vegetable or fruit area and you see a price of $4 per pound, that means $4 for 1 pound. 1 pound is going to cost $4. So when you have two equivalent ratios, right? We've been having two equivalent fractions and calling them equivalent fractions. Now we're going to have two equivalent ratios or rates, and we're going to call that a proportion. The math is really what we've been doing. So let's see that. But you need words. A bag of nuts has cashews to peanuts in a ratio of 5 to 7. So 5 to 7 we're going to write like that, but we're not allowed to just write that. We have to identify everything. Now you can abbreviate, but cashews is not that long a word. So this is 5 cashews for 7 peanuts. So that's the rule. If cashews is first, that goes with the first number, in this case 5. Peanuts is second, it goes with the second number. So 5 cashews for 7 peanuts. Now if there are 40 cashews, how many peanuts are there? Well, all right, so here's the key. You have to put this word cashew in the same spot that it was in the first fraction. All right, so 40 cashews goes there, and we're going to find out how many peanuts. It's exactly the same math that we were doing the other day. 5 times what makes 40? 5 times 8 makes 40, so 7 times 8 makes 56. So in a bag of nuts, if the ratio of cashews to peanuts is 5 to 7, then the ratio, if there are 40 cashews, there must be 56 peanuts. And I have to spell peanuts correctly. All right, so let's see this again. So we have 6 candy bars. So we're going to say 6 bars are $14. How much do 12 bars? So bars goes in the same exact spot. Cost, how many dollars? Well, 6 times 2 is 12, so 14 times 2 is, they must have cost $28. It's that simple. The length of a shadow is proportional to the height of the object. Taller things, taller people, have longer shadows, right? It's proportional. So if a 4-foot pole, now we're not going to use feet, we're going to use pole, casts a 6-foot shadow, right? We need words that are distinguish the 4 from the 6. We don't want to put feet and feet. That doesn't help us, because we want to find the length of the shadow for a 10-foot pole, a pole that's 10. So then this is the math we're doing. We're finding the shadow for a 10-foot pole. All right, well, 4 doesn't make 10, but we can simplify 4/6 to 2/3. 2 times 5 is 10, and so a 10-foot pole at this time of day, when the sun's in that position, would make, now you put the feet on it, a 15-foot shadow. A photo lab enlarged a 4-inch by 6-inch photo so that the longer side is 21 inches. Find the length of the new shorter side. All right, so once again, inches isn't going to be helpful. Right, this is where we want to use short. 4 has the smaller one, has to be the short side, and 6 has to be the long side. And when we enlarge the photo, like dragging the corner on your computer screen to make a photo bigger, the longer side is going to be 21 inches. So 21 goes with long, and we're trying to find out this new short side. Right, we're taking this thing, 4 by 6, and we're making it bigger. Okay, so 6 times nothing makes 24, but once again we can simplify to 2/3. 3 times 7 is 21, and so this side, now we need the inches, 14 inches for the short side. Mark made 9 out of 12 basketball free throws. So 9 made, got to spell made correctly, out of 12, I'll say shots this time. How many would we expect him to make if he shot 36? So 36 shot. So notice, 36 is on the 9 times table and the 12 times table. You go too fast and you just start putting 36 wherever you think it should go without writing the words, you're likely to make a mistake. And that's what's going to happen to some people in the test. Right? We're trying to find out how many he made if he took 36, what we'd expect at least. Well, 12 times 3 is 36, 9 times 3. Out of 36, we would expect him to make 27. All right, let's practice. Bag of candy-coated chocolates have red to green in a ratio of 3 to 5. So if that red is first, so that goes with a 3. 3 red to 5 green. And then if there are 15 red, all right, so the 15 has to go in the red spot. And we're trying to find out how many green. 3 times 5 is 15. And so 5 times 5, there must have been 25 green. The ratio of boys to girls in class, boys, right, girls in the PS is 2 to 3. So if there are 36 girls, 3 times 12 makes 36. There must have been 24 boys. All right, so here we're going to do 12 bars. Cost $20. How much do 18 bars cost? Now, 12 doesn't multiply to make 18, but you can simplify this to 6/10. Now, 6 times 3 is 18, and 10 times 3, $30. Now notice, I did not simplify that to 3/5 because I didn't need to. But I could have. It still would have worked. I would have gotten the same exact answer, 30. So sometimes you have more than one way to get there. Them, let's say them will be team B here. And so team B, let's see. So they had 3 wins and 9 played, right? We're going to fight 9 played. How about if they played 30 games, all right? So they played 30. That has to go there. Well, we'll simplify that to 1/3. 3 times 10 is 30. So they're winning 1/3 of their games. We would expect 10 wins out of 30 played. All right, final question. Here's that where we're doing 5 is the short side, 7 is the long. So 42 must be the long side, and it matches the picture, right? And so 7 times 6 is 42, 5 times 6 is 30, and did I say inches? Yes, I did, so we want to put 30 inches. All right, good luck with the homework.